morning everybody, welcome to another video. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're having an absolute brilliant, wonderful day. My name is Miriam Apasakis, oil painter and artist, totally in love with colour. So on today's video, it is episode number 2 of the Sketchbook project. And if you have been following some of my Instagram posts, you would have seen the title page, the page 1 and page 2 of the sketchbook that have already been completed. So what I want to do today is take you through the beginning and those 2 pages and just give you the overall theme of what the sketchbook is becoming and what my intentions are with actually creating this sketchbook. So if you've seen already, the title page of the book that I've already done is called The Colour Within. And so the whole idea of the sketchbook is really to inspire individuals and anyone else that's going to read this book, be it personally or directly, physically, or on a digitized version, is to really tune into the pattern that is your unique signature, to allow everything that's pure within you to surface and come through creatively. And I wholeheartedly believe that colour has an incredible capability to do that. When we employ our creative minds, we are able to tune into a far deeper aspect of ourselves. And so thus the whole title page being called The Colour Within. And so the whole idea is to then explore things that we like, we don't like, things that we need to clear, things that we need to address within ourselves in order to allow that unique signature that is us to really come forth and shine. And so the first page really that I decided to create is an homage, I suppose, to colour, to almost as an icebreaker to the book. And it really is all about just giving the reader the ability to contemplate that there are possibilities. For example, colour is a magical doorway to a new experience, thought and feeling, a new you. And I decided to create that particular first page with a painting that I've done of a little girl about, I think now nearly 10 years ago, and I included a lot of different colors in her face. You know, they might not be accurate to the painting that I created of this particular young girl, but it really was all about showing the viewer the possibilities of how much color can impact how we feel through showing it on a portrait. You know, you've got green eyebrows, green cheeks and orange cheeks, and so there's an array, you know, of rainbow colors within that portrait. But it really is all about beginning to get the mind thinking about how we feel, not necessarily about the portrait, but within ourselves. You would have seen me write and talk about that light is energy, and energy is effectively communicated through colour. So colour is the physical manifestation of energy. And so energy is the inspiration for action, you know, how we feel, we then become inspired to take, you know, a step forward in whatever we want to create. And ergo, with colour being light, energy and colour, hopefully, and I'm wholeheartedly intending this, that once you go through the emotions of experiencing colour, that you become inspired to take action in the direction of your creative mindset. So on page 2 of the sketchbook, what I thought would be quite interesting and maybe a little bit more confronting is to talk about our relationship to our inner life, and particularly how we relate to the present now moment and employing our awareness to that present now moment. And so I thought I'd depict that through using 2 color components, and red and black, and also a portrait of an individual that perhaps is showing and depicting how life has been a little bit more tough on their inner self. And so the idea here is to show and highlight that we have the power and the presence to bring space within ourselves, and by bringing space we then allow more perception and an alert inner stillness. And of course, through that, we can then, if that doesn't exist, we can then employ modalities that can perhaps bring us to that event. And whether that is meditation, color, just practicing things that are creative things like drawing, woodwork, that also creates inner space. And so on page 2 of the sketchbook project, the real focus and my intention really was all about highlighting the need to actually bring out that inner stillness and that awareness. And so I thought I'd do that through a poem that I wrote, and in particularly how color is a great assistant, a great aid to bringing me back to that inner stillness and that present moment awareness. So here goes the poem. Golden pink air gliding through my hair, velvet frothy cloud talking out loud, gems sparkle in the glimmering sand, heart anew in a dazed wonderland, earth encoded eyes in fear miniaturized, when wondrous life appears, colour corrodes away my fears, like a running brook, colour becomes my hook, from a ruined mind to an illness well timed, colour my insightful friend, your power, my healer, to the very end. So I won't take you through the explanation of that poem. I will let you guys connect with those words and connect with the energy of that poem yourself. I'd like to do a little bit of mystery behind that. But the most important thing that I want to this point of creating the first and the second page of the sketchbook is just to briefly talk about some of the do's and don'ts in terms of your intention and what's really important as you're going through this process of creating a harmonious story for all the viewers that will potentially take out the book to read it and or look it online. So some of the challenges that I wrote down for myself that I was finding is that I really couldn't make a mistake, but at the same time I didn't really want to be too hard on myself, and the more I was hard on myself, I became rigid and I wasn't actually back in my present moment awareness, and that meant that I actually had a higher probability of making a mistake. I also became aware of the self-critical mindset that because I had a small margin for error, then I just became overly critical about what I was doing. So those kind of awarenesses are incredibly important because I just did not want to be in that energy, and so I have to do everything that I can to bring myself back to flow and allowing what has to come through to come through. The other thing too is being in a rush. Creating a page takes a long time. For example, the second page that I created took me the whole day. I started at 9 a.m. in the morning, and pretty much by 6 p.m. I left the chair. And so doing things that are in a rush again will bring back that whole self-criticism. So I highly recommend that you take your time whenever you create any of the sketchbooks that you do. The positives in terms of this project is that I love the surprise element of it all. Because I'm creating in pen, and the reason why I'm using pen is if I was to use oil paint, then I run a high risk of the pages sticking together when they're placed on the bookshelf. I didn't want that to happen. And so with a pen, there's a different way of creating, and so there's always this element of not knowing what it will turn out like. And so I quite like that, and I like that aspect of creating. The other positive thing I think for me is that you have to have a plan. If you don't have a plan in what you want to create, you'll find that you'll be in a lot more strive in creating things that are going to go down the wrong path. So just be mindful of that. Again, as I said, don't rush. And the other thing too is reanalyze the drawings that you make. Continually reassess everything that you put down, because it is really easy to veer off and to get things looking a little bit weird. Other than that, I'm absolutely enjoying this process and the whole gamut of putting together this book. I'm absolutely having a ball and I cannot wait to complete it and send it back. So next I've got my page 3 and 4 ready to go, but of course that will be for my next vlog on episode 3 of the sketchbook project. In the meantime, I welcome you guys all feedback and comments. I absolutely love communicating with you guys and letting me know what you think about the project. Please feel free to subscribe and leave a comment and hit that bell icon to be notified of all future videos. I thank you guys for watching wholeheartedly, truly appreciate your support. And until next time, bye guys.